It's if you would fuck up Tsjaikovski but with a lot of love. In this destruction you see that there is love behind it. The reason is always about finding some rhythm and some instruments and some melodies that actually work together. I try to find the parts in it that already sound like what I would do. And it's a funny moment when all of a sudden you discover something in like a 3-hour piece that sounds exactly like a disco sample from the 70s. At the end of the day, it's very repetitive party music, just from a different time period.
We use a lot of orchestra instruments. If you mix that with samples, then suddenly you are like that, you are in the real Swan Lake. It's very funny. I'm standing in this huge metal structure, and we use it to hang the instruments in. Also the metal itself makes sound. I see it a bit as a big swan nest, and we are angry black swans. We had a super nice process with Alex, getting everything out the boxes, all the instruments that we have. He could choose what he wanted to use. We went to a Georgian restaurant. I heard immediately the influences, very funny. Alex works a lot with synthesizers, so I bought this synthesizer that I have here, which we can make fantastic additions to the classical music, to the Georgian music, to everything, and it really makes it sound like Alex's world.
The hard part was coming up with these new electronic parts, because there it has to be really fixed. You have to say, okay, we need 2 seconds less in this part, so we need to cut that section. But if you cut that section, then the structure doesn't make sense anymore. That's still going on probably until the end. Funny story, I didn't have any expectations, so I just thought I'm going to write some music and they're going to make choreographies on that music and everything's going to be fun. And it turns out it's a much more complicated process than that.
The dancers come with the choreography, we come with a piece of music. Then at some point we start to adapt to each other, but then there's a lot of requests also from the dancers and also from the choreographer. And everybody together, we all put our little stones together that makes it into one big piece that is completely balanced.
So one day I had it that I was not here with the percussion and they made this new part themselves, which somehow used some of my stuff, but then also added a synthesizer in it. We did like this synthesizer workshop and we really tried to get sort of my sound ideas. And I think they all started to like walk around in this area with all these tools. And all of a sudden I came here and they did something which I thought that's exactly what I would have done. And yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't expect we would have so much of like the dance music and then weird 80s tracks in it. I was maybe not counting that that would have anything to do with Swan Lake, but it does now and I think it's pretty great.
Still, every time we come up with a complete new set, with a complete new concept, because we work every time with new composers. Keeps the combination of Club Guy and Roni and Slagwerk The Haag completely fresh all the time. I love it.